Hello and welcome to Counting Cryptids.
It is that time of week again, folks. Your
I'm-
favorite program is back.
Yeah, I'm Jacob. That's
I'm
Connor.
Hi.
Today we're talking about the Greys.
On episode 13 of season 2.
Correct. So before we get into it, you just posted a poll over on Instagram as we do when we start every episode.
Yes, I did.
What is that poll?
The poll is, what is your favorite alien race?
Oh, there's fill in the blank on that one.
Fill in the blank.
Cool.
Let us know.
Make sure you're following us on Instagram over there at instagram.com/countycryptids. And then you can answer those polls while we were recording the episode.
Yeah, you must. We are drinking Exile's Zoltan Session IPA
Oh, yep.
because there's an alien on it.
How topical. He is green, but I'll look
green.
the other way.
I should have taken the picture in black and white. What was I thinking?
Damn it, Connor.
Rip, I even had that idea.
All right, so I mean, we go.
Where does it start? Where do we start?
You know, like you know
Most
what a
people
gray
know
is,
what it
right?
is,
Like
yeah.
it's like the little gray dudes with the big heads.
Yeah, big heads, black eyes, no ears.
The appearance varies slightly from instance to instance, but generally described as small-bodied humanoid beings, smooth gray-colored skin. Sometimes it's not gray though. I don't understand if that's like the same thing or something different. Enlarged hairless heads and large black eyes. Usually no nose, ears, or sex organs.
Yeah, no dicks or no vages. Boobs.
Also, I feel like they're always naked.
Yeah. They have evolved beyond needing
have-
clothes, Jacob.
Transcended clothing.
Yes. That'll be the day.
It's commonly believed that they are from either Zeta Reticuli or the Andromeda Galaxy, according to like David Icke or something. But I remember last episode, the Area 51, that was Zeta Reticuli was where Bob Lazar said that the craft was from.
Just for a real quick bit on Zeta Reticuli.
Mm-hmm.
It's a binary star system.
Yep.
In the southern constellation of Reticulum. I'm not really sure what that means, but
it's pretty close, I think, in terms of
39 light years or 12 parsecs away. But
I believe it's also supposed to be like capable of supporting life, or is that?
I think so.
For some reason, I'm under that impression, but I'm not sure why.
It's the suns are similar to Earth suns.
Okay.
I think that was what they were alluding to, is that it was got water or whatever, basics.
Well, maybe I don't know anything about it, but that's fine.
Yeah. Anyway,
the episode's not about that. Who cares?
Yeah. It's like Superman. You don't talk about Superman on his home planet. You talk about him.
I'm sure there's plenty about Superman on.
I'm sure there is, but
Krypton.
Most general knowledge. This is a general knowledge podcast. This isn't.
We no deep dives here.
Yeah.
That's, okay, valid.
Just so to get a feeling for how far that is, 39 light years.
Oh yes.
Voyager 1, which is Earth's most distant starcraft, and is traveling at 38,200 miles per hour. It would take 685,000 years to go from here to Earth, or from here to Zeta Reticuli.
Do you suppose they take into account the fact that the universe is expanding, right? So things get farther apart, don't they?
God.
So do you suppose it takes that into account as well in that?
I've seen some
equation?
things that say that it's not expanding; it's actually collapsing.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I don't know how. It's been a while, so I don't know the validity of that information. But
okay,
the last I had heard, it may be collapsing.
Episode 14.
The end of the world as we know it.
The apocalypse. So I guess if we're jumping into stories by now, I don't know what else we're talking about. Perhaps, perchance, yes. Unless you have anything else real quick you want to add? Don't know if you were done.
I don't know if we need to get into stories. Okay, according to UFOnewsalien.com, take it for what it is.
Yep.
They say the majority of alien abduction cases are reports of gray alien encounters, and give some percent per country of alien abductions. Australia being 50%, the US 43%, Canada's pretty fucking high with 90%, Brazil 67%, 20% in continental Europe, and the UK is 12%.
I had also found 43%. I didn't have a specific number on the total that get reported. I looked really hard to find that.
Yeah.
Like even like annually or in specific places, I couldn't find it. But like sort of on that topic, I can tell you that as of July 18th, 2019, there were 2,371 reported UFO sightings in the United States, according to the National UFO Reporting Center. And MUFON claims that it receives between 500 and 1,000 UFO reports a month across the globe. I know that those aren't the exact same thing as extraterrestrial encounters, but that's the only number that I could find.
Yeah, a lot of this research when I was like searching gray aliens was just UFOing.
Yeah, a lot of that.
I'm
just,
like,
yes.
how do you know what kind of aliens in that UFO? I guess I don't know enough about the other aliens to coincide gray aliens with UFOs.
One or two of my stories are like, this doesn't specifically say a gray, but it says like a big head, and they were small, so I'm just gonna like lump them into.
It works.
It didn't say they were green, so I'm just gonna say assume
this
they're
is a very loose
grays.
podcast.
If you are this is your first episode, sorry.
Did Bob Lazar last episode?
May as well have been.
We've got some other interesting characters in this episode.
This one's a good one. I think I'm just gonna. I don't have anything really other than stories. I don't think. I mean, that's all it is. It's like everybody knows what a fucking.
Just a quick one to tie this to last episode on Roswell.
Oh, because we mentioned Roswell briefly last episode.
Yes.
I mean, I guess we're kind of doing this because we did that episode. Like that was sort of the intention was to be like a segue into doing this, but
it's a series.
Ball has been dropped.
Is it a series yet? If you've only done 2,
I think if the intention is to do more, yes.
But what if we only do 2? Like next week, it's El Guapo.
Is Guapo fat?
El Guapo? I don't know, dude. Isn't that what's
handsome?
What's
Guapo
the
is handsome.
What's
Sorry.
the gangster?
Chapo.
El
Guapo. The handsome. That would have been a sick name too.
Should have gone with that. Chapo just like scares me. Like you think Spanish and Chapo, like he's gonna chop somebody, dude.
I don't know if it means anything. If you type in, I don't know if his name is spelled with. Yeah, it is 1P. It means shorty in English. So the handsome might not have been as bad as the shorty.
It's your birthday. He's like, it's my birthday.
All right, where were you at?
I don't know, where was I at?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, so we mentioned aliens and like being the connecting point between Roswell and Area 51.
Okay.
In 95, there was a film released of a gray alien that was allegedly at Area 51. It was released by Ray Santilli, a London-based video entrepreneur. It pretty much an autopsy of an alien, it looks like.
That's a sweet album name.
Autopsy of an Alien? That
yeah.
actually is fucking sick. Jesus. Apparently the video was taken by the U.S. military like shortly after Roswell, New Mexico, but fucking Santilli admitted that the film was mostly a reconstruction, but continued to claim that it was based on genuine footage now lost and some original frames that had supposedly survived.
Okay,
he claims
we'll have a link to
that
that video in the description.
He claims that like they took it, the video.
Oh,
because it's been deleted or whatever.
I mean, that's definitely a convenient way to not
get out of lying,
which,
or I mean, get out of telling you the truth.
That's
I
the
guess.
thing. It's everything is always there's that catch of like, I don't have it for XYZ reason. It's just like it always seems oddly convenient that you're coming forth with all of this information, but no like actual proof to back it up.
But it would also be a very wise thing to do as a government. Fucking snag that up, you know.
It is
he's got no proof.
That's like
he's got no proof.
Some chess master thinking. You're going the long game. Yeah. You're not playing. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, you can see that. We'll have that linked.
We're not a conspiracy podcast yet, Connor.
Do you want to watch this one, Jacob?
I would love to watch this one. I think
this?
I'm familiar with it, but yeah, we'll.
Pretty weird.
See, even the footage could be like used in like a music video for the album. It would just like cut between like the footage of like the torn up leg and like the members of the band like playing in like a decrepit warehouse, or even in the same room, just like all white, like overexposed. Like that's fine too. And then maybe like some black stuff starts oozing down the walls at some point, and then all the colors would invert. Okay, so again, link to that video will be in the description. It's a little gross, I guess, but
it's odd.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a dead alien.
Yeah, I don't know what a dead alien would look like though.
I mean, that if I had to guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the closest thing I got.
Yeah,
reference.
Like I can't. I don't know. I've never been to an alien autopsy before. I'm just trying to find more excuses to say that.
Alien autopsy.
Yeah,
I actually love it. That's such a sick name. Join us next week.
Yeah, great tie-in to the Area 51/Roswell.
Yeah, that was really all I had. Just wanted to throw that in there.
So I guess I'm going to start with this isn't the first like UFO or abduction sighting, but it really popularized the Greys.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Betty and Barney Hill abduction story.
Mm-hmm.
The event started when the couple was driving back to their home in Portsmouth, New Hampshire on September 19th, 1961. Their way back home from a trip to Niagara Falls, and I think they were in Montreal as well. Around 10:30 p.m., they noticed a strange light in the sky that grew as they approached. The light seemed to follow as the couple drove down the winding mountain road, darting in and out of view, getting close, backing off. Finally, they pulled the car over and busted out the trusty old binoculars and saw that the light was coming from a spinning object in the sky. They kept going a little ways. The object keeps following them about 100 feet above the car. Eventually, Barney stops the car, grabs his gun from under the seat, because thuggin', and runs out of the car into like a field or something.
Okay.
So then he gets like a better look at the craft and claims to be able to see through like, I guess, the windows of it and sees beings in gray uniforms. I guess he tries to lift his gun but can't for some reason. He's like compelled to
Magnetized,
not. I don't really know. I think it was like a voices sort of thing is the implication with that one. He is then like suddenly convinced that they're going to be abducted, so he takes off running back to the car. He gets to the car, and I think it said like the truck begins to make this loud beeping noise, and they both lose consciousness.
Oh shit.
So they come to about 35 miles down the road at about 12:30 a.m. on September 20th. On the way home, they feel uneasy, anxious, and even some odd sensations. This doesn't seem too weird. Like, my mind would be all over the place if I saw a UFO and had 2 hours of missing time. So that's fine.
Yeah, I'd be losing shit.
Yeah, exactly.
What the
So
fuck just
when they
happened?
get home, they notice some of the items that they had with them were in disrepair. One of Barney's shoes was scuffed, and the strap on the binoculars was torn. I believe like there was on like the zipper or the hem on her dress had been torn. She found later as well. Their watches were like irreparably broken, never worked again.
Interesting. Not like smashed.
No, just like
Don't
died. Not like a battery replaced to fix it. Just like nope, they're done. This is weird, but it mentioned this everywhere, and I don't know why it's brought up, but I guess Barney was compelled to check his genitals when he made it back to the house. He didn't notice anything weird, but everywhere fucking mentions that he like had to go look at his dick. And I don't fucking get it. So nothing was wrong with it, but he needed to see his penis. So 10 days after the event, 5 days, Betty has a series of vivid nightmares about being captured and separated from Barney and examined. Not too much time passes before they decide to get some professional help, like mental help. They get referred through a number of people, and in early 1963, they end up meeting Benjamin Simon, a psychiatrist and neurologist who specialized in hypnosis. After a few months of weekly sessions, Simon helped the Hills remember what they think happened. A craft landed on their car, and they were escorted by gray beings up a long ramp into the craft. Inside the ship, they were separated from one another and taken to examination rooms with curved walls and a large light hanging from the ceiling. They were asked to climb up on a short metal table. Barry was longer than the table. His legs hung off it. That was noted. While being examined, their clothes were removed. Their hair, nail, and skin samples were taken. The samples were placed on something similar to a glass slide, like for a microscope. Needles with long wires attached to them were placed into their arms, legs, spines, and heads. Betty had the misfortune of getting a large 4 to 6 inch needle inserted into her stomach, which was described as being very painful. Both noticed a being watching from behind glass. They both described as the leader. I saw in one place they had brought up that they were excited that Barry's teeth could be removed. I guess he had dentures and they couldn't they didn't really understand that super well. So they were stoked that his teeth popped out or something. I don't know. Again, I only saw that one.
I mean, as
place.
a kid, my grandpa has had dentures for as long as I can remember. And he would pop them out all the time.
That would horrify me.
As a kid, you just go, what? And they just
play with
pop
them?
out. Yeah, pretty much. And it would piss my grandma off so much. It was hilarious.
Excellent.
But that story.
I'm skeptical of this bit, but apparently there's some point where Betty is alone with the leader later and asks where they are at. And the leader, yes, and the leader kind of jokingly said, "If you don't know where we are, there would be no point in telling you where I am."
Zeta Reticuli.
I don't know. So under hypnosis, Betty later drew a map that I guess she had seen on the ship as well.
Real quick,
some sort of star map thing. Yes.
What a cop out!
What?
At this point in time, she's just maybe there's more to the story, but she's like, I talked to an alien, and I asked him where we were. And he gave me this,
Well, but at the same time, it's not like
answer.
she's going to be in a position of they're basically hostages at this point.
Right.
If somebody takes you somewhere,
You're
you know what I
abducted.
mean. They're not actively not
Held
torturing
against your
you
will.
anymore. You're like, where am I? I guess if you at the point where you feel like you can ask that, but you really think somebody's just going to be like, oh, this is exactly where you are.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know.
Fuck off, human.
It's not like Bond villains where they tell you the plan before they kill you kind of thing.
I thought everything was like Bond villains.
As far as I know, it's not. But I've yet to be in a situation where there's a laser going to cut me in half from the crotch.
Correct,
first.
exactly.
So I guess there's some. That's pretty much the gist of the story. Basically, as far as debunking it, there's some things that people commonly bring up for as reasons
what could have actually happened.
Yeah, exactly. If they didn't see it, it would they talk about being a hallucination brought on by stress of being an interracial couple in the 1960s.
Okay, so before, usually we talk about if we had heard about this before.
Yeah,
I definitely have.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know when, where, but I do remember that specific detail
that they were an interracial couple in the 60s. Yes.
Which is really weird to me.
They seem to think that that wasn't they kind of laughed that explanation off. Sleep deprivation is also brought up a lot. They were on a drive home. It was late at night. So that kind of makes sense too, but
so some fucking I have been tired as shit driving.
Dude, tell me about it. I fucking spent 14 hours in the car recently.
Yeah.
One day.
Never saw shit.
I didn't either. I was pretty fucking tired at the beginning. First 8 hours of the drive, and then I was good. So then there's some other stuff that's brought up about it being influenced by a TV show or another work of science fiction. The show Outer Limits is brought up, specifically an episode called The Bolero Shield, which had been broadcast about 2 weeks before Barney's first hypnosis session. Also, the 1953 film Invaders from Mars was brought up. I guess Barney's description of the beings is very similar to the characters called the Bitfrost Man.
Interesting name.
So I felt compelled to include those little bits there as well. So that's a weird one. And I guess Betty later kind of went on to, I think there was a lot of other, she was just out looking for UFOs sort of thing. And then she'd oh, I saw these UFOs, but it's not actually. She's just anything she sees is a UFO. It kind of seemed it turned into one of those
shooting
situations.
Star, UFO.
Yeah.
Potato.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they're both dead though.
Oh, Bill and
no.
Oh,
Barney and Betty.
Barney and Betty.
I think Barney died a while back. I believe Betty died in 2004. But
this took place in what, 60s?
63. Nope. 61. 1961.
Started in 61.
61. Yes.
Okay. And they were how old? Middle aged? 50s?
No, they weren't that old. I don't believe. Hang on. I have a picture of them. I would say, let me look at it real quick before I guess.
Did they ever have a mental health evaluation?
I mean, I don't know what a mental health evaluation consists
like
of in
in that
1960. I don't believe that they are 50, but they're well shit. I mean, and this is after the fact too. I don't know how much later this photo is taken.
Parent age to me.
For sure. I mean, 40s?
Yeah, 40 to 50.
Damn it. Right with that 50s. Again, I don't know how long ago this was taken.
Right.
I
think
see if I can find a birthday on this.
Even later towards the end of their might have they might have gotten even maybe a better look of what they were dealing with then, because if it's a mental health, like maybe it's gotten better, maybe it's gotten worse, but I think you'd be able to tell. I actually have no idea anything about that mental health. I probably should know more.
Yeah, I don't have a birthday on them at all. I was kind of trying to figure out if I could get their age, but I have nothing. Sorry. What are you asking?
So we got a few stories here. What do you think about this one specifically before we move on to the next?
The Hill
yes
encounter, if you will. I mean,
do you have more information?
No, that's all I have on the story. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have. I mean, there's a little bit more if you want to continue going through that, but again, we have a lot more to get into. There's an endless number of sightings and encounters. You're going to run into a lot of UFO things in general while specifically looking for grays. So we're trying to weed that out a little bit, and these are just some of the more common ones. I don't know. It doesn't. I believe this was kind of this was the first examination retelling of this probing sort of thing. Like there had been abductions before, but I believe that they were all
one of the first
peaceful thing, and theirs was the first one that was like, this isn't necessarily a good thing, and I'm being examined, and you know what I mean,
getting it wasn't 4 to 6 inch needles shoved through my stomach. Again, fucking hard pass.
Medical, and then they erase your memory and drop you back off so you don't fucking you know what I mean. I don't know. I guess I wanted to bring this up at some point. The television program People of Earth, I believe I have talked about it on here before. Would recommend giving it a watch.
Still don't know if I've seen it.
It was I believe it was written by the same people who did The Office and Parks and Rec. I
watched it at Alex's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
People of Earth?
Watched an episode, I think.
I think it's pretty funny. I mean, if you're into weird shit,
that kind of
the humor's tends to be decently dry, if I remember correctly, but it's pretty good. I would recommend checking it out.
I enjoyed the one episode I watched. Not a sponsor.
TBS could definitely be a sponsor. Again, I have no reason, I guess, to not believe their story, and nothing that they're saying is super outrageous as far as things that we talk about on this show. As far as the paranormal and extraterrestrial thing, we're gonna get into some shit later that really seems very made up, shall we put it that way? And this seems like nothing that they're saying. The only thing unbelievable is basically aliens.
Yeah.
They took us on here and they looked at us weird and they poked us.
They were
and
taken by
us
humans,
a little bit.
dressed as alien, but for what reason?
I don't know. I mean, also there was the matter of the spaceship at that point too.
They can be fake. You drug somebody, knock them out.
But they remember that before they got knocked out. They remember seeing it. It was following their car while they were driving.
Oh, I mean, still the government, but
it was a Nazi bell.
Was it? Because it could have been.
I don't know. When was World War II?
30. 30s, I think. 35.
No. It ended in 45.
45.
So probably not a Nazi bell in 61.
Just Hitler's hanging around
in America. Oh, he was on his way to Argentina.
Took him that long? That thing is slow as shit.
Well, he hung out in Antarctica for a while, and then he had to run from Antarctica and made his way down to Argentina. And then from there, I think he made it up to Washington State. I don't remember.
No, and then he built the pyramids in Antarctica.
I thought that was aliens.
I don't know.
Moving on. Do you have a story? Or yours? When are yours?
Mine's. I don't have. Oh, mine's 90 or 79.
Okay.
Phil Schneider.
Okay, I'm gonna grab another beer before we get into this.
Yeah. Grab me one too.
Yeah.
Please. So I don't have a lot about Phil Schneider.
Okay.
On my notes, but I feel like we can talk through it.
Okay.
I think between the two of us, we know
It's
enough.
been a little bit, but I think once the metaphorical juices are flowing.
Okay. So the background here. I don't know. I didn't get a whole lot of information. We can look that up maybe at some point. But Phil Schneider, who is an explosion engineer working for the U.S. government, claims that in 1979 he was approached by gray aliens when military forces attempted to build a subterranean base matching that of a very old cavern system where the Greys had a base. During his encounter with these aliens, he was forced to draw a sidearm, fire, killing 2 aliens. Then he got hit with some sort of plasma weapon, I guess.
So there was they were like in an elevator, and he was with like a green beret that was taking him down, and that guy ended up dying in the crossfire between the situation that I don't really understand how it happened. I think he was just like startled, so then he pulled his gun, and then it was just like an issue, and like started shooting, so they shot back. He gets hit by this thing. Is this where he gets like split up?
No, I don't think so yet.
Okay, but he has a massive scar. He has a massive scar on his chest that is from this incident?
Allegedly,
or is it from a different incident?
I believe it is from this incident.
And he loses a finger or two?
His hand gets sheared off. Like, part of his hand. Not the whole thing, but part of it.
Yeah.
Resulting in possibly missing fingers, yeah. Makes it out alive, and the military calls in, like, special forces. Like, 50 guys or something. And they go down there, and they, like, just have it all out
like
firefight with them.
In this deep
fucking
underground military
alien-human war underground. Allegedly.
I don't know that you need to say that, but okay.
Yeah. Apparently, like, I think 60 people, like military and like scientists and shit that were there, like died during this incident. I believe it was like 60.
I want to say he had like part of his dick shot off.
He definitely did.
I don't know if that was this incident or a different one. It wasn't shot off. It was split in half. That's what it was. He got his dick split in half.
Okay, so on fandom.com, which is not a reliable source for most things, but in this case, whatever.
What is?
Apparently he's got the scar on his chest, like you mentioned. It is from a radiation weapon blast that occurred during his escape from this incident.
Okay.
So yes, and some have confirmed that the scar did exist.
The scar, I've seen video of him revealing the scar at like a UFO conference, but if we look back, what does he do for a living?
He is an explosion engineer.
He like
plays with bombs.
Yeah, I want to say he invented a way to like explode rock strategically to clear out like sections of mountain to pave roads down.
That was him?
I believe so.
Is he rich as fuck?
Well, he's dead.
Yeah, he got cancer, which he blames on this
plasma weapon, the radiation from
weapon,
that. Yeah, I mean, the scar was definitely there, but he did do work with explosives.
Right.
So, and again, with the missing hand and all that shit, is that something to do with his line of work? But like at the same time, if you were doing that, wouldn't you want to like collect insurance money or something? Was he just like fucking around with his explosives in his free time and got injured severely? And then he was like, I need to figure something out.
I need to pay for this. Yeah. I'm going to write a book and tell a story.
Hard to write a book with half a dick. What? I don't know.
Let me pull up because deep underground bases is essentially what he's working on.
Okay.
Which are like underground military bases.
I'm under the impression that like he had pioneered this method of doing it, but he's like not the only person then at this point who's doing it. But he's like, this is how you do it. You like drill a hole and you drop the thing in, and then you can do it, and it'll remove massive chunks of that. I believe. Maybe I'm mistaken, but then he was subcontracted by the U.S. government to do this additional work because of his alleged credentials.
Okay. Yeah, because he had pretty high...
He was good at what he did,
right.
Allegedly.
Which I guess if you have an explosion on your chest, you've been doing it for a while, I guess it's bound to happen sometime, you know?
Or you die. You don't, because you know what I mean. Like if you're working with like legitimate blasts, like the only thing that happens, like you don't have scarring on your face. It's like it is pretty localized. The scar, if I remember correctly, like it's a big scar, but it's like just in like a spot. But I don't know the guy's life story. Like, I can't prove to you that he didn't have some weird ass surgery or something. You know, like
he has cancer.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
That's probably after the fact, though.
I think
it's
I
hard
don't
to fix,
think it
like,
was. Yeah.
He did publicly say that if I ever commit suicide, I'll have been murdered.
Yes, because he wasn't going to do it, and
Yes.
then he didn't die of cancer, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he was shot.
Yeah, it was. I think it was considered a suicide.
Interesting.
So that's one of those things that is also like, there's a part of you that's like, well, this adds credibility to it, because he's like, no, I'm not going to kill myself. Why would I do that? If I end up like having been killed, or if I ended up being dead, being suicided, like, it was not me, obviously, I was killed. But at the same time, if you say that,
and then you
go and do it, you're like, well, this just seals in stone everything that I've said and done.
You're tortured over the fact that you've been lying?
Right? This calling my bluff right here. This is me proving that I'm not lying, even though I'm lying. So you know what I mean? Like, that one's tough.
Could he have been so tortured that this happened? That he shot himself? Your dick is blown in half, dude.
Yeah, but he's like an old guy.
Your dick is blown in half. I don't...
Again, not an ideal situation.
Not by any means.
How long you gotta go? Because I'm sure, I'm 100% positive I've seen headlines talking about dick transplants now.
I mean, with all the kinks lately, he could have blown his dick off himself. Like, stop putting things up your urethra, bro.
Some BME Pain Olympics there, are you?
Yeah. Explosives with Christ. Phil Schneider. He's a self-taught geologist, allegedly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely thought that the government was after him for exposing this information.
He got like on that circuit too of then like doing like UFO conferences and all of that shit.
Going big with it.
Then, well, I mean, he wrote the book. You have the book name by chance? I haven't read it.
I wish I had read it. I wish I had the patience to read it. I really suck.
As well, and I believe Unbelievable Podcast did a pretty good episode or couple of episodes on Phil Schneider.
Gotta listen to anything.
I don't know. I assume that they're still available. They're no longer actively doing podcasts. I wish they would. Even if they would just hit me with like one a year, I would count down the days until then. I want to unbelieve again, Connor.
I know. Same, dude. Phil Schneider.
Brian, if somehow you hear this, Brian, please. If I cry your name into the internet long enough.
Somebody tell Brian.
I wanted to name my dog after Phoebe, damn it.
So Phil Schneider apparently has a deep underground military bases, DUMS, we mentioned earlier. It's a movie.
Oh, okay.
This is a movie, DVD. Get it for $20 freaking. It came out in 2015. But he wrote a book, I'm pretty sure.
Should we just be done with Phil Schneider at this point?
There's a video. I don't want to watch it.
Fair enough. He died at some point. I don't remember when. I couldn't find the date in my quick looking. But his story is very interesting to me.
Yeah, we did a really bad representation. But
yeah, 100%. I mean, it was kind of just, again, quick covering. We have a lot of stories to talk about. He has physical damage to his body,
correct,
which is undeniable. How he got it gets brought into question, but it's, you know what I mean? It's very strange, because so if somebody was in that situation, would you expect them to have this giant scar and the you know what I mean?
Would you expect anything less?
No.
What are you looking for? If you're looking for evidence,
you got to be skeptical of everything. 100%. I get that, but at the same time, his story was always very compelling to me, and I don't know. It's tough. It's
hilarious. It's got all the plot twists you want. He blows his dick in half.
Honestly, but if we're be real for a second though, that's fucking horrible.
I'm aware.
It's absolutely horrifying.
But it's hilarious. If he made this up, absolutely fucking
all right,
hilarious.
I'm officially deciding we're done with Phil Schneider now. I have another funny story then that we're gonna move into real quick.
Nobody split hot dogs.
All right, so I'm going to read this one straight off of nymag.com. The article is Reasons to Believe. This is the Antonio Villas Boas seduction. So in 1957, small aliens with huge heads allegedly came for Villas Boas, a young Brazilian farmer. Villas Boas was forced inside their vessel, while the creatures took blood samples from, of all places, his chin. and rubbed some sort of gel. Soon after, a blonde female with big, almond-shaped eyes joined him. She began rubbing his body, then initiated sex. After they were done, she quickly left, which gave Villas-Boas the impression that he was being used to better the alien's, quote, stock. He didn't react well as he suddenly felt exploited as a good stallion by these foreign chin fetishists. Weird as it was, Boas's encounter with the probing and forced sex became the archetypal alien abduction. Reportedly skittish at first, he eventually told his story to somebody whose last name is Martins, the writer behind the popular magazine O Cruezo, Flying Saucers Terrible Mission series. Doctors confirmed Boas had suffered radiation poisoning, but Martins ultimately sourced on Boas' story for one, because his spaceship sketch bore remarkable similarities to the Soviet Union's Sputnik. He turned out all right, though, apparently. He got a law degree and had 4 kids and died believing his children had half-siblings living in space.
Interesting.
I'm not 100% sure that these ones were grays in this one, but it said small and big heads. Almond eyes was described, and I don't know that we necessarily had almond, but we had like large eyes for description, so I don't know. I thought it was too funny not to include.
I love it. I was just thinking, because you brought that up. Do you remember the artist guy that slept with aliens? But they were praying mantis aliens, weren't they?
Yeah.
Damn it. Next time I'm Counting Cryptids.
The Man Who Fucks Aliens was what Unbelievable Podcast titled that series. I still am subscribed to that on here.
Same,
for some reason. I 100%. Can't bring myself to delete it.
I need to go and just download all the episodes and save them on my computer, so if they ever disappear, I have them.
For some reason, I can't. Oh, David Huggins. They did. So they did the Travis Walton abduction series right before, for 4 weeks in a row. Right before they did David Huggins, The Man Who Fucks Aliens, and then draws pictures of it. It's fucking. Maybe I'll include a link to that one. I don't know. This is my work computer. I do all this shit on. I don't know if I can do this.
Look at these fucking guys. You want me to bring it over? I'll bring it over.
Oh, dog, I've seen the photos.
They're so good.
Dog, I've seen the photos.
These are grays, are they?
Dude,
not?
He like literally draws pictures of himself coming. Like, it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird, dude. Who the shit does that?
This fucking guy. Look at him, dude. Look at him.
If he's an old man.
Look at him. He's a fucking pervert. He has kids with this alien. I should get.
Well, I didn't get too much.
Crescent is her name. He names her Crescent.
Yep. All right. So that one's maybe a better story, but yeah, I don't have. That's for a different podcast. It's maybe its own episode. I don't know.
Counting Cryptids After Dark.
We'd get kicked off of Twitch so fast.
We did do a Twitch stream.
We did.
I did.
You did. You played a couple of games and tested it out, and I set you overlays while you were playing.
Yeah, Nathan followed. It was a fun experience.
Hey, appreciate you, Nathaniel.
I played a couple of games.
All right, you have another story?
Nope.
Okay, I will do more stories. So the last thing
I'll read one. Let me read one.
Which one did I just do? The next one's long, and
Is
there's
it Travis Walton.
Yeah, if you want.
Oh yeah, you do Travis Walton.
Okay.
I have some. How to know if you've been abducted by alien tips.
Okay, actually, I would like to do that now. Now that you have mentioned it, I want to know those tips.
Should have done it after like the first one where it was alien abductions, but fuck it.
We should have teased this at the beginning. I didn't realize we had
We have gold
anti-abduction undergarments.
Oh, we don't have that.
Visit tpublic.com/countingcryptids. Doesn't exist.
It's brilliant. I would wear those.
Your anti-sea rhinoceros undergarments.
Yep. Okay. So we've got a few things on how to know if you've been abducted.
There's a 60% chance that it's already raining.
How to know if you've been abducted by aliens. So when you go to bed, you have chronic insomnia, you hear a tapping or humming noise just as you're dropping off to sleep. You may dream of aliens and UFOs directly, or you may dream of vaguely mysterious beings, but remember none of the details except one. The beings had very large eyes. You have the feeling you're being watched, especially as you're dropping off to sleep, or you wake up in the middle of the night because you think someone or something is watching you. You may even see one or more shadowy figures standing around the bed staring at you.
But that's like common of other things as well.
Slender Man.
No. Shadow people.
Shadow people, that's what I meant.
And, I mean, generally sleep paralysis and
Correct.
A number of other paranormal phenomena. I mean, if you want to talk about, like, ghosts and poltergeists and stuff like that, since we're talking about weird shit anyway. So, I mean, you know, like, the tapping specifically. I want to say there's, like, a rolling noise that's associated with, like, ghosts and stuff, too, where it sounds like something's, like, rolling.
Are they all the
across
same thing,
floor.
interdimensional beings?
I don't know. That's a question that I am not intelligent
We're
enough
getting
to answer.
there. Scientists are, like, currently working on going into other dimensions.
The Upside Down?
Yes.
Did you watch that season?
Dude, I don't even know where I'm at with that season. I'm so mad. Heather wanted to watch it with Caden.
Okay.
And I couldn't follow with him
Yelling.
Screaming demigorgons in my face.
Yeah.
So.
Fair enough.
I need to rewatch it.
I liked it.
I liked what I saw. I really liked what I saw. I enjoyed that show.
I have a hard time seeing where the show will go from here, but
correct. I don't know. I think I finished it. I think I know what happens at the end. Also,
how to know that you've been abducted? Is that what we're still talking about?
We're still talking about. You sleepwalk.
Again, also just a thing people do.
Also, and alcohol is not involved. You've gone to sleep in one place.
Sleepwalking? Is that a common thing? I've never sleepwalked. Well, I've drank a lot. All right, a lot of times I have consumed a lot.
Also, like, have you ever gone to sleep and like don't remember going from your bed to your couch or your couch to your bed?
Yeah.
Like I would consider that sleepwalking.
I
am not conscious.
It's one of those things. Well, you maybe are at the time, but like you are for such a brief period of time, and you did nothing notable. So like, what do I remember walking from my living room to my fucking bedroom at any other time in the day? Like maybe one of the 80 that I've done it.
Dude, there's so many other things.
It's so insignificant.
There's so many other things, like
so many important things that I need to remember, but don't fucking remember. I'm gonna remember walking from one room to the other. I forget as soon as I walk through a doorway what I was doing in there anyway.
Okay, debunked. Also, they say, and this is from Neatorama.com, how to tell if you're abducted by aliens. If you wake up and you find small drops of blood on your pillow, but there's no explanation for how they got there.
But I mean, that could be a vampire too, right?
They're all the same thing, interdimensional
or
beings.
like your scalp. You have the scalp thing where not dandruff, but like when you, I don't know,
the scalp thing where your
scalp
head
can bleed. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's terrifying. I hope my skull.
It's like your skin. It's not like your head is bleeding.
I don't know.
You recently got your ears pierced, but you woke up and there was blood on your pillow.
She popped a zit on the side of your face.
Gross.
Before bedtime. Why the fuck?
You're a pizza face and popped 18 zits on the left side of your face. Happens
the
to be the side that you.
Blood. 18 zits.
Okay, what else you got?
So if you're on the road, we've moved from the bed to the road.
To the road. All right, sick.
We're mobile. Your car breaks down unexpectedly with no explanation, often soon after you spotted a UFO. You pull over to the side of the road, and the next thing you remember is standing next to or driving your car. Hours or even days.
Missing time, is that what
I would assume that's not how I would put any of that.
No, I would just say missing time.
Yeah.
You put a road flare down and a couple of cones, a red flag hanging out of your window so passerbys know that you are pulled over on the side of the road. You don't want to get T-boned during your
alien abduction.
Yeah, exactly. Your extraterrestrial experience.
Could you imagine? They went through all that effort to put the cones up to abduct you. You have the sense that you have levitated to passed through. Okay, there's a typo in the article, so I copied and pasted it. You have the sense that you have levitated to pass through solid objects such as the doors or roof of your car.
You have the sense that you at one point in time did that?
Passed through your car, but you can't remember the time.
You know, one time, I think I floated through my ceiling, but I don't actually remember having done it. But I just have this feeling at one time I just
You can
Floated
convince
through
people
my
that
ceiling.
happened.
No, you can't. You can tell
just
people.
like,
You
if I didn't know you, you were so convincing. Conviction on your face. I couldn't. I was like, wait,
I've been drinking, man.
Wait, is he fucking with me?
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
I figured, but what the fuck? Okay, and this is during the day. This is just driving. Now we're specifically daytime. You see smoke, fog, or haze at a time. There's no logical explanation.
I can give you. Yep, there it is. I say I can give you a logical explanation. Connor hits his vape.
Also, you have unexplained, irresistible desire to walk or drive to a particular location where you believe something familiar yet unknown will soon happen. You may experience a heightened level of anxiety in the days leading up to this strange happening. This is every day at work when I'm like, I want to go home.
It's kind of just like a lot of very basic things. I understand it's a lot of them, like all of these coincide and some sort of stuff, but
I have an irresistible desire to walk or drive to my house at all times.
That's not saying your house. It's saying like an unknown location for unknown reasons.
Familiar yet unknown. A particular location where you believe something familiar yet unknown.
Familiar because something happened, but you do not know what, therefore yet unknown.
I'm waiting for something to happen in here every day.
You need to get off your ass and do it.
I know, but I'm lazy as fuck.
You'll
subscribe to the podcast. Also, there could be some physical changes you might have.
Your boobs
like
grow.
A giant hole in your stomach from a 5 to 6 inch needle. Could be a thing.
So I've also seen they take scoops out of your skin and stuff. You see now there's like a little indent. I have a little indent on my arm.
Jacob's been scooped.
I don't. As far as I remember, it was like I think I got bit by a spider, but it was like a bump, like a zit or something. I don't really know. It was on my arm for like ever. There was just like a bump, and then one day I like squeezed it and it like pussed like crazy. It was like, huh! And then it like swelled up.
Came out.
It swelled up like fucking huge, like real big for a while, and then all of a sudden it was just like gone, and then there's just like a divot where it was.
Jacob's been probed.
My forearm, my inner forearm.
You heard it here first.
I think I got bit by a weird bug. I don't really know what happened.
You might begin to get frequent nosebleeds and not know why.
Shit, that has also happened to me. In like 2009, 2010, I would just like out of nowhere, I would just get like the nosebleed of all nosebleeds. Like I swear to God, it was just like I don't know how I still have fucking blood left in my body. It looked like a murder scene.
Jesus.
Like no, literally, like I'd be going like getting ready to get in the shower, I'd like pop my shirt off, and all of a sudden there's just like blood all over my chest. It's fucking insane, dude. I've never experienced anything like it since. But for like a year period, yeah, I was fucking concerned I was dying from something. I didn't go to the doctor. That's irresponsible. What do you mean?
No, don't do that.
But yeah, they'd tell me there was something wrong with me. Why would I want to know that?
Yeah, but what the fuck is wrong with
exactly.
me? The only time I've ever bled so much blood that I'm like worried for my health was like I got hit in the face with a skateboard and blood just dumped out of my nose. Like, where the fuck is that blood coming from?
Is it my brain?
Yeah, right? I'm dying. Right there in front of like probably 25 tourists.
My mom is watching. You got more? How to know or avoid being abducted by an alien?
Yeah, I only got through the first one, the nosebleeds one.
Oh, God.
On physical changes here.
Okay.
You have unexplained soreness or stiffness or a mysterious rash on one or more parts of your body.
I'm often stiff and sore.
Yeah.
All about them DOMs, man. Delayed onset muscle soreness. Lactic acid.
I don't know what the fuck you're saying to me.
My mother is a personal trainer.
There also may be evidence that your skin has been scraped, like a sample has been taken from you. Dude, I work in a bakery. I get fucking scrapes all the time.
I have 2 cats, a dog. You have a kid. Like,
yeah,
shit just happens, man.
Dude, I get scrapes on my face all the time.
I have like a small garden in the backyard. I go out and weed my house. You know, there's shit happens. I have bruises and scratches and scrapes and shit all the time.
If I can scrape myself, I don't even realize it. You also find new scars on your body, and you have no idea how you got there.
A scar would be weird.
A scar specifically, if a scar just showed up, especially a large one,
that would be weird
as fuck. Scared.
Yes.
Especially if like vital organs area.
Oh, like on your. I was just thinking like on my arm. You're like torso.
Talking Phil
Yeah,
Schneider,
fuck
dude.
that noise. That's not no.
It's
that
not the
wasn't,
same
like,
thing,
surgical.
but like,
Okay, what else you got?
it's already fucking scarred. There was no scabbing, none of that other stuff involved.
No cut, no scabbing.
Lose my shit.
Yeah.
This next one is gold. You go to your annual physical. Your doctor finds strange, tiny probes implanted in your body.
Oddly specific. I
Yeah.
think maybe.
There might be something there.
Yearly
Have
physical.
you seen any of those like people that claim to have like little things in their body and can't explain
The
them?
implants? Yeah, that's just super weird.
If it's aliens or government, I don't fucking care. Don't put that shit in my body.
Facts.
You have a dim memory of a very probing, and it says, hint, hint, it's trying to be funny, medical exam conducted against your will. Like, you have a memory of, like, being held down and being, like, worked on surgically, but you don't really, like, know what
You got surgery
happened.
raped?
Yes.
Okay.
Got chloroformed.
Date surgery raped? That's maybe not worth joking about. I don't know.
No.
This is post Me Too 2019.
Yeah. You may also have memories of having your head placed in some kind of restraining device, or long needles inserted into your nostrils or ears, or something drilled into your skull. These sensations may be accompanied by a burning smell. Human physical examiners who look over you after the fact find no signs that such procedures have taken place.
You remember a surgery that, like, if you're like, hey, does it look like I've had this done? They're like, nope, everything looks good. Is that basically, in a nutshell, what that's saying?
The second part, essentially. The first part is like, do you remember getting... It's pretty much the same as the last one.
I just exorcised a demon from my nose.
Thank you. Thank you for releasing that demon into my house. Now the ghost cat will haunt my premises.
You are welcome.
So this says after the fact. I guess we'll see.
So how to know that you have been visited?
I guess.
Is that what you mean?
But that's where we're already investigating here.
I was thinking.
Okay, so there may be evidence that at the scene of your abduction had been staged to look like nothing happened. A few incorrect details might be noticeable. For example, if you went to bed wearing pajamas, you may wake up nude or dressed in only underwear, with the pajamas folded up neatly and placed at the foot of your bed.
I don't know which one goes on top and bottom. I'm just going to fold them and leave them at the foot of the bed.
Yeah. What are we supposed to do with these? We're just standing around naked. What do you...
I like to imagine they, like, got up in their sleep, sleptwalked, took off their clothes, and folded them neatly, put them on the bed, and just climbed right back into bed. It's a little too warm.
Folding.
Yeah, just sleep laundry. I need to get in the habit of doing some sleep laundry, dude. Holy shit.
How do I get that triggered?
Wake up and my house is immaculate, spotless.
And I'm well rested.
Glorious.
That's the way life
the
should
dream.
be right there.
Get it? The dream? Yeah.
This is not the American dream. You may even wake up in the wrong room. Like I said, I think this is about the same point as earlier. You sleepwalk, whatever. You were abducted from your car, and you find items in the car or truck that have been moved around.
You forgot to lock your car, and some teenagers broke into it and had sex in there?
Thanks for the F-Shack, Dirty Mike and the boys. Your ability to remember things suddenly becomes stronger, and you may even develop psychic powers that enable you to see future events. That took a really quick turn towards weird.
Yeah.
All right. You suddenly get a sense of mission or the feeling that you have been chosen by aliens for an important purpose, but you don't know what it is.
You think you're Jesus?
This often replaces feelings of low self-esteem that you had before the alien encounter. Why haven't I been abducted already? These are great, like, symptoms. I can take, like, thinking I had a surgery one time. Fuck.
Somebody removed my Padawan tail.
What happened there? Electronic appliances behave strangely when you pass by. Computers crash. Clocks lose time. Radio and TV reception is distorted, and streetlights go dark as you walk under them. Brian talked about this in the Unbelievable podcast, and every morning I go to work at 3 a.m., I look at the streetlights to see if they're going off, and they often do. Aliens.
The Giorgio Tsoukalos meme.
Yep. Insert Giorgio Tsoukalos meme.
Interesting.
Yeah. You develop a new kind of phobia. Suddenly, you become afraid of spiders, heights, and close spaces, crowds, and the aliens may be to blame. Those bastards.
They did a surgery on you and took away your anti-fear of large crowds.
Those bastards. You become as obsessive, compulsive, or develop addiction you didn't have before. Shit.
Well, I mean, that's pretty vague.
Yeah. If you do anything in an abundance, you become less trusting of other people, especially doctors, police, and other authority figures that you were before.
Have you been using cannabis?
Correct.
So a lot of these symptoms are hand in hand here.
Maybe I got the wrong article. It says this says if you've been high before, abducted by aliens. That's what it says. You develop an interest in UFOs, astrology, or physics. Conversely, or an aversion to being around other people when discussing these subjects. Me and Jacob sit alone in a room and talk about this. But if you're worried, if you're been abducted, Jacob.
I am worried that I've been abducted, Connor.
All of a sudden, I am.
I'm not, but okay.
The St. Lawrence Agency of Altamont Springs, Florida, sells a UFO abduction insurance policy that pays out $10 million, peeking out the microphone, with a double indemnity payment of $20 million if aliens exist on conjugal visits. They keep coming back.
Conjugal is for sex. Conjugal isn't probing. Probing isn't generally not sexual. The only instance of like sex that I have here is that guy we were talking about earlier, Huggins.
Mm-hmm, David Huggins.
And Antonio Villas Boas, who I already talked about.
Alien fuckers.
These people, but like also you have to
cash out for $20 million.
But they have to prove they exist. Do you not?
How do you prove it? How do you prove any of this exists?
Okay, I don't know. That's probably what the insurance company is going to tell you too.
I gotta bring my alien fuck buddy to the goddamn bank.
No, yeah, you take it to the bank. No, you gotta take it to fucking whatever. State Farm. Is that who it was? Allstate.
Not a sponsor.
That's Allstate, Stan.
What have you got in your wallet? That's MasterCard.
What's in your wallet?
So this plan costs you $19.95 plus $3 for same day shipping. Here's the kicker. The policy pays out $1 per year for 10 million years, or until the death of the policyholder, whichever comes first. I think it's a one-time cost though. For $20, it could be an investment. $23.
As long as you live for 23 more years.
Yeah.
You make
I'm 27.
$1 out
If
of
I
it,
make it to 50, I'm good.
It has then paid for itself.
Has it?
If the initial investment has been covered,
$25. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Then it has paid for itself.
I'd be up 5 cents, baby.
Eventually, you'd make like $5 off of it.
Yeah, you just keep living. I guess.
I don't think it's worth my time to fucking do that. Is the only thing.
And I think you have to live in Florida, so
yeah.
Maybe, I don't know how insurance companies work. I'm certain.
Like also, you would like the only benefit to that is like the only downside. There's no downside.
There's no downside. You get a plaque that says you're insured for alien abduction.
They send you a plaque?
I'm pretty sure it says $3 for same day shipping. I'm assuming there's some sort of certificate that is involved.
Okay, but a plaque and a certificate are two very different things.
You can make it. You can frame it, make it look.
Plaque
nice.
is like engraved in like a fucking metal and mounted on wood,
stone and shit. I guess that's fair. Maybe plaque was a little far, but
you get a trophy.
They send you something for $3 shipping, same day shipping, Jacob. Or you could get it on Amazon Prime for free shipping. God, if they were a sponsor, I'd be crushing it.
What's up, Jeff Bezos?
Can we get one of those affiliate links? Like you buy shit on Amazon, we get paid a little bit if you use our link.
I don't think it works that way. Is like Amazon Smile? Is that what you're talking about? That's for charities.
No. Like, you ever heard a podcast that says like use our affiliate link with Amazon and whatever you buy, they get a percentage of?
No.
Pretty sure it's a thing. I promise. Maybe it's an older thing. I don't know.
I mean, I would apply for that.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
All right, what else you got?
Nothing.
Okay, so I guess moving on from that then, try to keep all that in mind. I'm gonna talk about Travis Walton just a little bit. It could probably go on for like an entire episode and a half about this dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go straight from the Wikipedia right here. So, according to Walton, on November 5th, 1975, he was working with a timber stand improvement crew in Apache Sitgreaves National Forest near Snowflake, Arizona. While riding in a truck with 6 of his coworkers, they encountered a saucer-shaped object hovering over the ground approximately 110 feet away, making a high-pitched buzz. Walton claims that after he left the truck and approached the object, a beam of light suddenly appeared from the craft and knocked him unconscious. The other 6 men were frightened and supposedly drove away. Walton claimed he awoke in a hospital-like room being observed by 3 short, bald creatures. He claimed he fought them until a human... He claimed that he fought with them until a human wearing a helmet led Walton to another room where he blacked out as 3 other humans put a clear plastic mask over his face. Walton has claimed he remembers nothing else until he found himself walking along a highway with the flying saucer departing above him. In the days following Walton's claim, the National Enquirer awarded Walton and his co-workers a $5,000 prize for Best UFO Case of the Year after they allegedly passed polygraph test administered by the Enquirer and the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization. Ufologist James Ledwith said, quote, "For 5 days the authorities thought he'd been murdered by his coworkers, and then he was returned. All of the coworkers who were there saw the spacecraft. They all took polygraph tests, and they passed, except one that was inconclusive." In 2008, Walton appeared on the Fox game show The Moment of Truth, and when asked if he was abducted by a UFO on November 5th, 1975, to which he replied, "Yes." The polygraph test determined that he was lying.
Oof.
Polygraph is kind of bullshit, though.
Yeah,
so let's get that out of the way real quick. So basically,
easy to fake,
he's with all these people. They see a UFO. He kind of goes up to it. He claims that he's hit by a beam of light that then takes him on board. Everybody else says it like shoots him like 10, 20 feet in the air, and they all fucking bail.
What year is this again?
1975.
Okay, so this is well after probably like some alien film.
Oh,
Aliens
100%. That's in the zeitgeist. That's in the pop culture, folklore.
Right.
That's around. So I want to say like 2015, he did an interview on the HuffPost Weird News podcast called "UFO Alien Abduction Still Haunts Travis Walton." I do have a brief quote from him here before we get too much farther into discussing this. So it was a metallic glowing disc making some very strange sounds. The closer I got to it, the more scared we all got, and they were swearing at me to get away from it. And when I got close to it, it suddenly got louder and started to move. I jumped for cover and then jumped back to run to the truck, and that's when the blast of energy hit me, and I felt a numbing shock go through my body. But the crew said that it threw me in the air 10, 20 feet, and I landed in a way that they were immediately certain it had killed me, and they fled. When I was first able to focus my eyes good enough, I was sitting on a table, and as soon as I saw this face, I knew it wasn't human. I tried to hit it away from me. They were much smaller than me, and I think that's the reason they gave up. Once they found out that they couldn't control me, they split. I was absolutely terrified.
I don't know.
He strikes me as being full of shit.
You think so?
I do not know what it is about him and his story that strikes me as being full of shit.
The game show, was that the same one that Unbelievable Podcast talked about?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Got his fucking buddy up there.
So he's hit by this, and then he's in a craft, and he's fighting aliens. Everybody thinks he's dead. He's actually missing for 5 days.
Yeah, he is missing. Nobody can find him.
The police are actively looking for him. He is missing for 5 days.
The 5 other guys, or the 6 other guys, all said there was an alien. Passed a polygraph test.
So,
as we said,
polygraph's kind of bullshit, but also then there's this thing of, so they're working on this timber stand improvement crew or whatever, this construction, whatever the fuck it is that they do here.
I would say like similar to lumberjack type.
So there is the implication that they were rapidly approaching the deadline of when they needed to be done, and they weren't done, and in the clause there's like, some sort, like the contract, there's like a quote-unquote act of God is what it keeps referring to as. So they needed this act of God to like
free them from
it's
their
gonna,
contract.
yeah, exactly. It's like it's a good reason to, it's like, well, we didn't get it done, but like he got abducted by an alien and was missing for 5 days.
What the fuck do you want us to do?
So I'm not gonna have to pay this hefty fucking fine for it not being the date that I wrote on this contract. There's a lot of the like that is the implication that everybody is saying, like, this is why all 6 of them are saying that this is what happened, sticking to it. That, and they all split the $5,000 that they got for the most convincing UFO thing. So like those 2 things right there are like, that's your motivation to do it initially, and that's your motivation to shut the fuck up about it, or even your motivation to do it like if you needed a push. Like, cool, $900, I'll take it.
Yeah. I'll do your show.
I would love to have $900 just for like having like, yep, this is the most convincing case. Here you go, guys.
And you go over it so often in the early days that, like, with all of them, like, hey, this is our story. This is what we're sticking to. And a lot of those guys don't talk.
I don't know. I don't
Why
know what
would you talk?
is.
You cash in one time and you're just done. Just don't talk about it anymore. You don't want to rat out your buddies. You just.
I don't know why, but it strikes me as not something about it just like rubs me wrong, and I don't know what it is.
I don't know. It seems pretty extravagant to go out of the way that big.
Again, it has this aspect of like then him trying to, you know what I mean? I'm gonna fight my way out of this room and I beat the aliens, but then they sent a human in, and the humans took me to the, you know what I mean?
Which is a weird thing.
They were scared of me. That's that thing where it's just like, yeah, I was kidnapped, but like,
fuck them, kick their ass.
Look at me.
Oh, you're scaring me
through my mouth. You know what I mean? It's weird flex, but okay. It's I don't know. It seems like that's like the other guy, the fucking. I was used like a good stallion.
Yeah.
For my seed, you know, fucking what, dog? Like,
no.
I don't know. I'm done on that one for now, I guess. I don't, unless you have anything you want to mention about it. But so then the last one I have here is from the NewEngland.com article, Aliens in New England, a timeline of UFO sightings and unusual encounters. Quote, in August 1976, according to their own accounts, 4 Massachusetts college students were canoeing on Maine's Allagash Wilderness Waterway and saw an unidentified object in the sky. They described the sighting to a ranger the next day, but weren't taken seriously. It was suggested, in fact, that they had seen a searchlight that was being used to celebrate the grand opening of a hardware store in Millinocket. The students continued their trip and didn't talk much about their encounter until years later when one of them, Jim Weiner, started having seizures. Weiner claimed to have had visions of humanoid beings levitating above his bed, poking him with needles. Under hypnosis, all 4 men described small gray aliens, taking them aboard a spacecraft and performing medical experimentations on them. The 1993 book, The Allagash Abductions, made momentary media darlings out of the quartet who appeared on The Joan Rivers Show and Unsolved Mysteries. In 2016, however, one of the men, Charlie Rack, said that although the group really did see an unidentified flying object twice on their canoeing trip, the rest of the story had been made up. The rest of the friends disputed these claims.
Are Rack and Weiner?
Yeah. R-A-K.
Okay. A little sus to me. Their real names? As
far as I know. I did very little further looking into that. I did hear about... I'm familiar with that one a little bit, but I didn't look into that one too much more. It's already like, 2 hours? Hour 16 minutes at this point? What time did we start? 5? It's like 5:15. 5:20.
I don't know.
We don't have time to fucking get into all of these too much. And
yeah.
That's about the end. I have like a pros and cons thing in my notes that I try to put stuff in any time. I don't have anything in pros. The only thing I put in cons is Stan Romanek because he is a con artist. No, different guy. I have not talked about him yet. I don't want to bring it up too much because he's a piece of shit, and I don't really want to give this guy any more fucking clout being
next episode
anything.
Counting Cryptids.
No,
Stan
dude.
Romanek.
I don't think I want to talk about him that much. It's like, you know what I mean? With serial killers, you don't want to fucking talk about them because then it like glorifies serial killers.
Everyone does.
But everybody's into their murder porn. I get it. So
I don't get it though.
But this guy, I'll post at least one video. I don't have anything on my notes about it other than his fucking name. Again, I'm pretty sure the Unbelievable podcast did a decent amount of stuff on this asshole.
POS Hall of Fame.
So yeah, he is 100% in there. If I remember that existing, so he's got to be in there. But I will post a video. He's the one who has like the video of him like he'll like wander over in his sleeveless shirt. He's got like a camera on a tripod. He'll like wander over and like look out the window and be like, oh, okay, that's weird. And then he'll like walk away, and it's like 5 minutes passes, like enough time for him to like go outside and like fucking duck underneath the window and then like hold up a little alien head and then just kind of like turn it a little bit, and then enough time passes that he can come inside and he'll like go up to the window and look out it, and then like the fakest fucking jump ever, like fucking like it's bad. I'll link to the fucking video. It's bad. He sucks, but then also he got arrested for like child porn and like all this shit too. So I'm like, nope, bro, you're a piece of shit, dude. And I want to say he like denies it. He's in some program for like severe deniers. He's like, oh no, they framed me. They put this on my computer or whatever it was. Like, denies it hard. So
nobody believes you.
That would definitely suck if you were framed, but also like
you make these fake ass videos.
Gonna be the one to definitely not gonna be the one to back you on this, dog. And also like the videos are bad, man. They're
really bad.
They're bad, and they fucking caught on so much. I think he was on like Conan or something. He was on like some like
there's a
late night
lot
talk
of them
show.
too.
He's been on a bunch of shit, and he did a couple of them, and they're all so bad.
He's got names for all the little alien girls.
It's bad. It's bad. I don't like him. It's bad. But I felt compelled to bring it up, but I'm gonna do it at the end of the episode. So that's about all I got. I have a couple of things in here that I wanted to include. Harvard psychologist Richard J. McNally is quoted as saying, "The alien abduction phenomena, in my opinion, shows how sincere, non-psychotic individuals can develop beliefs about and false memories of incredible experiences that never happened." So he's saying like these people are totally sane, and they like it shows how these people who aren't crazy can develop beliefs about things that didn't happen, like memories, creating false memories.
Right.
Normal people can do it. It happens all the time.
I'd probably do it myself.
100%. Everybody does. You can't not, because when you remember something, you don't remember it happening. You remember the last time you remembered it.
Memory
and then
is
it just
really
fucking degrades. That shit is next time on Counting Cryptids, memory. Like, if we're going to be fucking real about making that joke, like, literally, it's fucking weird. And I catch myself doing it sometimes where I think about it, like, that didn't actually fucking happen.
Witnesses are super unreliable sources.
Eyewitness sometimes is very unreliable, and it's fucking creepy because like it just depends on the situation too, because some of that stuff can get planted in there with interrogation and stuff like that too. So
easily,
it's just, man, it's fucking
especially
crazy.
Traumatic. Like, this is fucking MK Ultra. You just saw somebody die, or somebody rob a bank or something.
You see somebody die or somebody get killed, like that. Very traumatic, especially if it's somebody that like or have some sort of affinity to. Yeah.
And then the cop says something about his fucking sweater.
Oh, did it look? Was he this race of person who did it? Was he this? He was this kind of guy, wasn't he? He was this guy, right?
The way they fucking answer the goddamn question,
the way they ask it, the way it goes, it can plant false memories and stuff, whether it be intentional or not.
Correct.
I don't know.
All right, should we get on to the 1v1 results? Okay, I have the results.
All right,
Jacob.
What are the results, Connor?
All right. On Instagram, 62% voted for Bob Lazar.
Okay.
38% Giants.
Yeah.
On Twitter, 54% voted for Giants.
Okay.
46% Bob.
And Facebook.
And Facebook split directly down the middle, 50-50.
So out of the 53 total votes across all platforms.
Good job.
Thanks, everybody who voted.
It's fucking 28-25. 3 votes decided Bob Lazar as the winner.
Yes! That's hilarious.
Go Bob Lazar.
All right, excellent. Head on over social media. Let us know who you think would win. I guess this Bob Lazar Grays or Area 51 Grays. I don't know how he's going to word it when he posts it. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
The time comes.
I'll try to do it on time this time.
Yeah, no shit.
I'll set an alarm on my phone.
So I guess the only other thing at this point is reviews.
Do we have one?
We have 3.
3? Jacob,
2 of them aren't good, though. 2 of them are bad reviews. So
I'll take it.
The first one is a 5-star review from The High Tide. Thumbs up. Love the show. There's only one thing that I could find wrong with it, and it's that I've never been a guest. Assuming that's supposed to say guest. I don't know who you are.
A guess. I don't know who
I guess hit us up.
Seriously.
If you want to be on the show, I don't fucking care. Hit
Let's
us
go.
up, dude.
What do you know?
So then I got another one. It's a 2-star review from iBoys.
Okay, iBoys, what do you got for us?
Okay, but kind of childish. It was an okay podcast, but was similar to 2 college students sitting around trying to be funny, but they weren't. Interesting subjects ruined by their approach. All right. Fair
fuck
enough,
you, man. If you don't like it,
fucking fair enough.
that's fine.
It's not for everybody, definitely. Our sense of humor is definitely not for everybody.
I have definitely said in earlier episodes, whatever you got, we'll take it.
You definitely. I mean, thanks for
letting us know. You think we're childish?
Not only 1. That's fine.
I am like 8 years old, but I am 27.
Yep, fair enough. All right, so the last one we have is a 1-star review from Balls Deep in a Tiger, is the username.
Or he gets a pass.
Hilarious. Okay. Yep, fine with it. Sorry, guys. ... There is zero structure and seems haphazardly thrown together. Stop the pausing. Edit it out, please. This is incredibly infuriating. I want to like the show, but there's so much you can improve on still. Keep it up, and you'll get there. I don't know where you started.
Thanks for the support.
I mean, again, constructive criticism. So, it's not like
I'll work on the positives.
I want to like it. Yeah, again, I don't know where you started. Maybe you started real early, and it's like, dude, this is fucking awful. Yeah. Again, season 1,
season
was bad.
2.
I feel like season 2 is a lot better. If that's where you're at,
the
Jesus Christ,
technology has increased.
Again, appreciate the constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Hope you check out the show some other time.
Check out season 2 if you're not listening.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
this.
obviously,
I don't know how to tell you to listen to season 2.
I assume it's a he. Balls deep in a tiger doesn't really seem like a
lady thing to say.
But again, not here to generalize. I assume this individual. They said they want to like the show, and I understand that. I want to, and I like trying to listen, but then something's just off-putting about it. And yeah, we're not professional by any means.
We're
literally
pretty trash. Yeah.
2 fucking guys sitting in a room talking about weird shit. All it is.
Pretty much what we do.
I mean, thanks for checking it out. Appreciate the honest feedback.
I would like to know.
Hopefully,
if
check
you
it out again sometime.
Yeah.
Update your review if you hate us less next time.
Or don't. Whatever, dude.
If you have a 1 to 2-star review you would like to leave, go ahead and do it. Or also
3,
any
4,
other amount
5.
of stars is acceptable.
Or, drop us a review on Facebook, a recommendation as they call it over there. Stitcher, I don't know, dude. Just message us. Let us know what's up. Really appreciate those messages when it's like, hey, just found the podcast, love it. I was talking to somebody the other day about how their friend and her were just like us and talked about weird shit all the time. I'm like, well, that's essentially how this podcast started. We just put mics in front of our faces and did some research.
I remember one specific occasion. It was aliens, specifically aliens. You and I sat outside that house you were living at, Kayla's. Yes, we sat out there for 3 hours, just stone cold sober, talking about aliens for fucking ever.
10 out of 10.
Would have that conversation again. Oh wait.
And then we saw a shooting star.
Did we? I thought it was in the daytime.
Wasn't that same time? I think it was towards the night. I don't think that was the same time, but we're bonded by
the light.
Bonded.
Oh.
Bonded.
All right. Well, thanks for checking out the show. Again, social media, everything, links for stuff we talked about in the description. Go answer polls, social media, reviews. Thanks
really
for listening.
Appreciate you listening. We will be back in 2 weeks from when this releases.
From the Thursday that this comes out, which is the 1st of July, meaning that we will be back on the 15th of July and then the 29th of August. July. Jesus Christ. The 1st of August is when this one came out. So then the 15th of August will be the next one, and then the 29th.
So we'll see you on the 15th of August.
That is when you
put it on your calendar
next.
Or subscribe and get
facts.
The things.
Science, technology.
The future. Thanks for checking out this week's episode.
If you want to get your 2 cents in, answer this week's polls on social media.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, as well as Discord.
Links for all the social media, as well as everything else we talked about on the show, are available at gobblesquatch.com.
If you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, or you just want to chat, you can email us at countingcryptids@hotmail.com.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and tell your friends.
I've been Connor.
I've been Jacob.
And we'll see you in a couple of weeks for another fascinating installment of Counting Cryptids.